So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being on this call today, Thursday, November 8th, right? November 8th, 2017. My name is Esmeralda Saldana, and I'm your Executive Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant. And this is our Goal Digger series, which we have every Thursday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. So thank you guys for being on this call. My hope every time on this call is that I'm able to educate you a little bit more, give you some more tools, and at the very end, I always answer questions. Of course, you are free to ask questions as we go along by simply clicking on the chat tab below your screen, and you can actually type out your question. And if I get to it during our training, I could definitely answer it. Okay? If not, you can wait till the end. It's all up to you. So today I want to focus on a couple things. First, some announcements. Thank you so much to everyone who participated on our first Healthy Sunday brunch this past Sunday. It was awesome. We had about 30 to 40 people here, lots of guests. I personally have sold 6 detox sets, 7 actually after last night, from that event directly. So it's been awesome. I'm really excited to coach more people. I really have found a new love for doing Arbonne. Not that I've lost it, but you guys, I've been doing this almost 7 years this summer coming up, 2018. So it's just a lot of fun for me to be able to just coach people into health and see the results. So thank you everybody who came out and helped and brought a dish. Our next one, please mark your calendars, is going to be Sunday, December 3rd. And it's going to be from 12 to 3 p.m. And it's also going to be a team party, okay, our holiday team party. So you can bring guests, and we're going to have a lot of fun stuff, definitely some healthy treats, and we'll also have some not so healthy treats because it's a team party too, and we're going to have a lot of great stuff. So I will make a flyer and send it out to you guys, but that's December 3rd, Sunday from 12 to 3. It's 1 hour longer than the healthy brunch because it's also a team party. Okay, so hopefully you all can make it. Second announcement. Most of you are familiar with our Wellness Coaching Academy, which we started last October. And that Facebook page, for those of you who still don't understand what it is, it's specifically for consultants who are doing the 30 days, but at the same time, you want to learn how to coach a client. You want to learn what are the steps necessary to coach someone while they're doing the 30-day detox and help them be very successful. So our new group already started this past Monday. And again, it's called Wellness Coaching Academy. The first group was called 1, 2, 3 Tracking and Detoxing, but I didn't really like the name. So I kind of condensed it and made it kind of fun. Oh, orange. So my idea is, when people come into this business, they know very little, sometimes nothing about nutrition, just like me, I didn't know anything. And my hope is that during these 30 days, they learn a lot about themselves, their allergies, their likes or dislikes, everything that has to do with the 30-day detox, the products, and at the same time, they learn how to help someone else. So at the end of the 30 days, since it's called a Wellness Coaching Academy, you can now say you're a wellness coach, because believe it or not, guys, there is no actual, educationally accredited certification out there for wellness coaching. Anybody can pretty much get it, but I like this idea because you actually have to go through it personally, and at the same time try to coach someone if you have someone to coach, and you're learning really well how to help people during the 30 days. So at the end of the 30 days, you are a wellness coach. So for those of you who have gone through it, this is actually your last week. So congratulations. I'm really excited for all of you, and I can't wait to see your before and after pictures. And that takes me to our next topic. For those of you who are finishing the 30-day detox because you started in mid-October, this will be your last week. Don't forget that social media is very powerful, but there is a way to use it. You don't want to use it to sell. You want to use it to show people what you've accomplished. About 30 days ago, or maybe 20-something days ago, you asked people to hold you accountable during the 30 days, and you posted a before picture, or maybe you didn't post a picture, but you just said, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm really excited, hold me accountable. Well, now you're going to show people your progress and pretty much what's happened over the 30 days. So I invite you to get your before and after picture, right? Maybe put October, I think it was the 16th when we started or something like that. And then the next day, October 12th, November 12th, the finish date or whatever it is, and show people what's happened over the 30 days. Or you can put day 1 and day 30 on your last picture and just talk about how you feel, your overall, sense of wellness. You don't have to focus so much on weight because there's so many issues that people are dealing with. And just talk about how you feel, what it's done for you, how you've enjoyed it, and talk about maybe a couple of the pounds that you lost, or some of you have lost 9, 10 pounds. So that's incredible. And just talk about that. And you can even say something like, I'm really excited to continue this. I love this new healthy lifestyle, and I invite anyone to join me for the next round. Or if you're curious about what I did, let me know. Something very basic. And then use your hashtags if you're doing it on Instagram, and have fun with it. Okay, so I hope to see a lot of those before and after pictures and testimonies by next Monday or Tuesday. You can even post it on Sunday. But that's going to be really important and vital to your business. And, sometimes people aren't ready to do the 30-day, but maybe it's a person you can invite to the next Healthy Happy Hour, or to the next Discover Arbonne, or maybe to our December 3rd Healthy Sunday Brunch. So there's a lot of different events coming up. We have 2 events coming up in, what's that called, Carmen? What do you call it down there? South LA? No, not South LA. Torrance, Hawthorne area. I forget what you call it. South Bay. The South Bay. South Bay. Sorry, not South LA.
the South Bay. The bubble. It's the bubble.
Exactly. On the South Bay. And I believe it's going to be the 15th. We have one at 6:30 p.m. And then again on the 29th of November, which is also Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. And Carmen can give you the details. It's at the Ayers Hotel in Manhattan Beach. And then we also have an event coming up in Riverside. Monica, if you just want to shout out the date real quick and time, because I don't have that on my calendar right now. I know she has something coming up at the Mission Inn in Riverside.
Sorry. Hold on. I'm coming.
Well, I'll let her find the date in the meantime.
The 20th.
The 20th? Okay, perfect. So Monday the 20th at 6:30 at the Mission Inn in Riverside. Okay, so we have...
And FYI, I think they might have the lights up by then. I'm going to double check. Yay. So it's going to be really pretty. So if nothing else, that's Thanksgiving weekend, or Thanksgiving week. So, just come hang out, bring a guest, just come have fun. If you guys, sometimes just inviting is just say, let's just go hang out and have some drinks and girl time works too. So, and it's a beautiful place if you've never been. So if you yourself have never been, come on down.
Oh my God, I just moved from there. I used to visit all the time.
I know, Betty, you're in Arizona. We got to find a cool place. Yeah. No worries, honey. Okay, so that is the 20th. Thank you, ladies, for that. And I'm working with Angela, hoping we can get one started up in Whittier, but I'll give you more details as to that as soon as we can lock down a date, hopefully at the DoubleTree in Uptown Whittier. So those are, there's a lot of stuff going on. Just ask if you're not sure, but there's a lot of things you can invite people to. Okay, great. Let's continue. Really quickly, going back to the Wellness Coaching Academy, I think this is really important. I talked about it on Carmen's, she had a little small team call yesterday with her out-of-state people. But what I wanted to remind you is all of you are leaders now, right? Because you have all gone through the 30-day. If you went through the first phase, you're all wellness coaches, you're all leaders. As you add new consultants to the new groups that are also doing the 30 days and learning how to coach, it's not a place where you can just drop off people and leave. Okay, and what I mean by that is don't assume that just because you're throwing them into this Facebook page that's going to teach them how to coach someone that you don't have to do anything anymore. It's actually the contrary. That page is just there to help you facilitate the training, but you still have to lead them. You still have to help them through the process. You got to hold them accountable. You got to check in with them and make sure, hey, did you call your detox client today? It's Monday. It's the first day. Did you review their menu? Did you go over everything? Tell me what you did. That's part of training, and you're only doing it for the first phase, the first 30 days. After that, they're going to be able to fly solo. Okay, the power of duplication comes in really instilling in people's brains like what we're doing, why we're doing it, and showing them the system that we're using. So my hope is to really encourage you guys to still be a big part of that coaching with your new consultants and not just drop them off in that page. With that said, I'd love to see you guys comment, edify, and share on these pages. If I'm asking for a before and after picture, or I'm sorry, just a before picture at the beginning of the 30 days, share what you've done in the past. Post your picture with your script of what you've done in the past. So I encourage you to help out in that way too, by commenting, edifying, and sharing what you've done, to show people that, you know, you're doing it too and that you're duplicating. Okay? Awesome. Let's move on. So today we're going to talk about how to do a one-on-one, and I'm not going to take a super long time, but I do want to hit some points that I think are very vital. So first, there's a lot of new people on here, people who maybe don't understand the one-on-one. What is the one-on-one? So many of you were probably introduced to Arbonne through a one-on-one, which means you and someone from Arbonne sat down maybe at a coffee shop or over the phone or through a virtual chat room, and the Arbonne person shared with you what the business model is, basically, okay? And there are some very important steps in doing the one-on-one that are vital to the overall success of what you're doing. Why am I going to go through these steps? Because when I first started Arbonne, I used to talk a lot during a one-on-one, mainly because I was nervous, didn't know what to say, but I thought if I just talked a lot, they wouldn't notice that I was nervous. But sometimes that's the biggest mistake. You really want to ask a lot of questions and listen, because that person across the table from you, your prospect, the person that you're sharing Arbonne with, is going to give you a lot of clues and reasons why Arbonne may be a fit for them. And you got to really listen to those. So that's very important during a one-on-one. So let me share my screen so I can show you just some notes that I took that we can go over with you. Okay, so if you're on a phone, just widen your screen. So the basics for a one-on-one. So when you sit down with someone and you're in a virtual chat, before you even begin talking about the Is Arbonne for You document, you want to get to know them. Don't talk about yourself. This is not the time to share your Arbonne story. They don't care about you. It is a known fact that people enjoy to talk about themselves. And a lot of times people don't get that opportunity to share things about themselves. So just get to know them and ask them a lot of questions, such as, are you married? Do you have children? Where do you work? Do you love what you do? How long have you been doing that? Did you go to school? You know, tell me about your parents. Do you love to travel? Where have you been? You know, just ask questions. And some of the questions I even like to get into even deeper is when we talk about their job, I like to ask them, do you love what you do? Awesome. What is one thing that you dislike about where you work? I also want to ask those questions too. I want to hear, they may be a nurse, you know, or a doctor, and they absolutely have a passion for what they do. But when you say, is there a dislike or something you wish you could change about what you do right now? They might say, man, I wish I just had more time. I work, 60, 70 hours a week. I wish I had more time so I can vacation, Get them talking, ask them a lot of questions, and remember, you don't have to jot down the answers. You're going to remember because you're actively listening, right? Make sure your phone is down, turned upside down. You don't want any distractions. You really want to give them all your attention. So you do that for about 5 minutes. Really get to know them, because when you start talking about the Is Arbonne for You document, which I'll pull up in a second, based on their responses, you want to talk about certain things, right? When I start talking about all the different countries that Arbonne is right now and how we're on the ground floor of global expansion, and that person just told me they love to travel, wow, what an awesome way to kind of come back to that, right? Hey, remember you told me you love to travel? Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to go to all these different countries and know that you can have an Arbonne business in any of them, right? So you always want to go back and relate to whatever answer they gave you. Super simple, you guys. I think just with social media and everything, all these digital things, we stop becoming active listeners, and we really have to turn on that button again and know how to just have conversations with people, right? When you're done getting to know them, the next thing you want to do is just ask permission. I think it's just polite and professional and classy to just ask permission to say, hey, is it okay if now I take about 15 to 20 minutes to just go over the business model with you? Yeah, sure. Just ask permission, okay? It gives them control, or makes them feel that they have control over what's going to happen next, right? And that you're not going to be pushing something on them, but rather you're just going to be sharing a quick overview, because that is what you're going to be doing. All right. And now the next part is when you actually pull out is the Arbonne for You document. Okay, it's not this one. I'm going to show it to you right now. But you pull out the paper and you put it in front of them, and they are now going to see what you're going to talk about. So they have something visual, and then you're going to, share the verbal part of it. And before you even start going down the sheet, this is where now you start your story. Now, again, I talked about how sometimes people love to hear themselves talk. Unfortunately, you can't talk that much about yourself. Okay, give it 2 minutes. Give them the important points that relate to them or could relate to their situation or what they've told you in the first 5 minutes of conversation. For instance, your story is going to be about 5 parts. It's usually 4, but I broke it down in more detail to 5 parts. So for 2 minutes, you're going to share quickly what you did before Arbonne or what you're doing now. Okay. Number 2, what you don't like about what you do. Okay. So, as I'm talking about what I did before, I was a hairdresser, did it for a few years, really loved it. However, I didn't like the long hours. It kept me away from my family quickly. Okay. That was really quick. I did share love, something I loved about it, but I also shared something I didn't like about it because everyone has something that they wish they can change maybe in their profession or their current gig. Number 3, what change were you looking for? Okay, so after you talk about what you didn't like, what were you looking for? Well, I was looking for more time with my family. I was looking for an opportunity to vacation. I was looking for an opportunity to, pay off my debt. So whatever it is, what is it that you were looking for during this process? Number 4, how you came to know Arbonne. So talk about it. I know we have a line in our 2-minute story that maybe some of you have been trained on, which I think is awesome because a lot of people talk about network marketing as if it's a bad, creepy, taboo subject, and it's not. And it's okay to say, I was introduced to this network marketing company called Arbonne, and I was turned off by the idea that it was network marketing. I really didn't know what that was, but I thought it was bad. But I did a little bit of research, and I quickly found out that, wow, this is actually a pretty awesome business because I can work part-time and eventually earn full-time income if I just work consistently and I'm coachable. Or you can just quickly talk about how you got to know Arbonne. My best friend did Arbonne for several years. I said, no, you're crazy. I'm not going to sell anything. Then I saw her get her white Mercedes within 2 years. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. She did it. And that's when I got turned on to the idea of I want it for me too. So whatever your story is, just quickly share what that is. And if you had any doubts or skepticism, share that too. That's totally normal because that's relatable. A lot of people feel like that. And then 5, what's your outlook for the future? What do you expect to gain from this Arbonne business? What does your, 5-year plan look like? My plan is to pay off my mom's home so she can work if she wants to, but not out of, pure necessity, and just be able, allow her to travel and do the things she wants at her older age. Whatever it is. Or, my future plan is to be able to buy a home in another city because, we're kind of outgrowing this one, and I'm so excited to know that it's actually a possibility now. Talk about your future, what you expect to gain from this. So that's what your 2-minute story should look like. Practice it. It doesn't have to be long, but I do encourage you to write it down and go through some edits because the first, second, third time it's kind of long, and then we realize what is really important, and we start cutting out all the stuff that's not, that we kind of fill in. Okay. And then read it to your upline, read it to your husband or to your wife, share it with them and let them listen and let them help you out. Okay. So that's your 2-minute story. And that is part of your 20-minute presentation. It doesn't take more time than that. Now let's talk about is the Arbonne for You document. And I'm going to pull that up so you guys can see it. Okay, here we go. So the Arbonne for You document is basically 8 parts, okay? It's super simple. All you're really gonna do is read and go to the next part and read and go to the next part and read and go to the next part. Here is the part that makes it just that much more better for you, interesting, and will help you have a very successful outcome. After every part that you go over, Ask a question that will have your prospect or the person across the table from you agree. Okay, and let me give you an example. Hey, Maria, so let's go over the document real quick. Let me ask you a couple questions before I begin. What if you had an extra $1,000 per month? Would that be important to you? Yes. Awesome. Are you looking to be your own boss? Well, no, not really. I've had people answer that. Or yes, I would love to be my own boss. Would you like to improve your health? Yes. Could you help others change your lives? Well, yes. So that's really easy. They're going to probably answer yes to all of those, and that's great. And you might be asking, what if you keep doing what you're doing? Well, will you be in 5 years? Let them respond. Some people will say in the same place, not sure. Hopefully I get a promotion, whatever that is. Just let them respond and remember what their answer is and continue. Now, let me show you again how this would work. It's really easy in the first step because they're all questions that are going to pretty much sound like a yes. Let me show you what it sounds like in the second one where there's actually no question there, but you can pull one out. Okay, so what's the Arbonne Advantage? We've been around since 1980. We have cutting edge research. All our products are formulated using European standards. I don't know if you knew this, but we're currently in 7 countries, which is US, Canada, Australia, Poland, New Zealand, United Kingdom. And then next year, we're going to go into Germany. Maria, would you love to visit any of these countries? Well, yes, I would love to. And wouldn't it be awesome if you can visit and rather than spending money to go there, you can learn how to make money? Well, yeah, I would love that. Do you see how I pull a question out of the section so that they're agreeing with you? Okay, because you want them to also be active listeners and you want them to see what is possible because we're open in all these countries, what is possible for someone like them. Okay, next part, the Arbonne Product Advantage. Well, we're botanically based, no mineral oil, pH correct, hypoallergenic, no artificial sugars. We're free of gluten. We use non-GMO formulations, Maria, do you agree that this is so important for people to know about their products? Yes, I agree. Maria, would you like to have these type of products for your family? I agree. Or you can say something, do you think that it's important for families to know that there's a lot of hidden toxins in their ingredients? Yes, I agree with you. So again, I'm pulling out questions, right, from the air pretty much, but pulling them out from that section that has to do with that topic to get them to agree. And then the next part, we have nutrition, detox spa, cosmetics, hair care, anti-aging. What do you currently use right now for your skincare? Oh, I use Dove soap. How many of you guys have heard that? Okay, great. Are you someone that would be willing to try something that's vegan, that is plant-based, that's non-GMO, gluten-free? If I can show you how to get a really great discount, yeah, I'd be open to it. So again, I'm pulling questions out, or it could be something like this. Do you agree that you actually use some of these products already at home? Yeah, I do. I use cosmetics, I use hair care, I use Bath and Body. So again, you're pulling questions out because you want to make sure they're being active listeners. Okay, and that's pretty much how the document will go. I don't have to go through the other ones really, but I will go to the compensation plan. I think you guys get the idea of how to pull questions out, but let's go to the compensation plan and I'll show you how I go through the compensation plan. Okay, and I go through it in 2 parts. Okay, so there's 4 levels. First level is district manager. At that level, you're making an average of $200 to $1,000 a month. I remember when I became a district manager, I was able to pay my car payment, or I could say I was able to pay my car insurance, whatever it was at the time. I don't remember, but I know it became very useful. So you could say what it's helped you do, and then say to them, what could you do? What can you do every month with an extra $200? And let them answer. Okay, so the first part was I shared what I was able to do. It has to be relatable. And then the second part is I asked them what they would do if they had an extra $200, or you can pick the middle number, 500, whatever, a month. Okay. Area manager. Area manager is an awesome level because it's willable. So God forbid, should anything happen to you, you can actually will your business down the line to your family, up to 7 generations, or someone can take over at any time. You could just will your consultant number. Ooh, my phone's ringing. And at that level, you can make anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. When I became an area manager, and this is true, I stopped working at 2 of the 3 salons I was working at. It was fantastic because all of a sudden I had all this time in the world and I was able to spend it with my kids again. What would you do, Maria, if you had an extra $1,500, $2,000 a month? Let them respond. Validate them. Okay? Next level, regional vice president. This is an awesome, awesome title, right? Let's pretend I'm not a regional vice president, okay? But this is a level that I would love to be at. So at regional vice president, there's a couple awesome things that happen. First is you get an $800 monthly bonus towards a white Mercedes-Benz of your choice. Isn't that cool? Only rule is it has to be white and it has to be 5 years new. How much fun would it be to go to the dealership and just pick out any white Mercedes you want and know that Arbonne's going to cover you on the car note every month? Wouldn't that be awesome? Let them answer. At this level, you're making anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 a month. Man, when I get to this level, I know this is going to help me pay off all my debt. I'm going to do it within 6 months to a year, and then I'm going to be able to completely retire from hairdressing so I can be totally focused on my family and my kids. Maria, what would you do if you had an extra $5,000 coming in every month into your bank account? Again, let them answer, right? But also show what you would do if you had that extra money. And then again, when national vice president, you do the same thing. What would you do? Maybe part of that $20,000 a month is a part of you that wants to give back. I always like to instill that in everyone on my team because it's part of the Arbonne culture, but how can you give back? And ask them, is there a charity or something that you would do if you had all this extra money? An extra, let's say you made $20,000 a month and you only needed, $10,000 or $8,000 to survive. What would you do with the rest? Would you start a nonprofit? Is there something that's really dear to your heart? Again, asking questions. And at the end, this is the last part. This is where we close. And the close is kind of quickly. You just kind of go over the 3 different ways, hosting, becoming a preferred client, or becoming a consultant. You go over that, and when you're done, you do the final closing question, which is the scale of 1 to 5. If you were introduced to Arbonne through a one-on-one, hopefully your sponsor went through the scale, right? And it sounds something like this. Okay, Maria, well, I hope you've enjoyed all the information you received today. I hope you're leaving with some new information and some maybe new education too. But let me ask you a really quick question. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being you would love to get your hands on some of the products, and 5 being you are ready to jump in and start your own Arbonne digital franchise, where do you see yourself? Let them respond. At any number, it's great, right? 1 means they're ready to buy products. So what are you going to do? You're not going to hand them a sample and send them home. You're going to open up the catalog or show them some of the items you talked about and see where you can get them started. Let's sign you up as a preferred client then, if that's what you're ready for. You can get those discounts, you get free shipping now, you get a free product. Let's go over it. Take some time to help them shop, okay? You do not want to send someone home with a gold bag if they're already decided that they do want to get their hands on some product, right? Unless they specifically ask, let me try the product first. That's totally fine. You can then hand them the gold bag, right? Anything over 1 is they're curious about the business. So what more information can you offer? And you can ask them, say, hey, I see that you're a 2. That is awesome. How can I get you to a 5? What kind of information or what do you think you need to see to help you decide if this is a great fit for you? And let them answer. It might be a meeting. It might be they want to try the product, which is a great time to offer them the gold bag. They might want to go to a Discover Arbonne, whatever it is, or see a video or whatever it is. They all have their own reasons. Make sure you give them that information right away, right? And then, of course, after you're doing that and you have the conversation, you want to quickly just ask for the party. Always ask for the party. If they're a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4, ask for the party. Say, hey, listen, in my experience, I've seen that probably the best way to really find out if this is a fit for you, or even just to share these amazing products with your friends and family, is to host a very small workshop in your home. And if you were to do that, it would mean so much to me because I have a huge goal this month, but I would also love to pamper you and your friends and offer you a free gift for opening up your home and inviting 3 or 4 of your friends. Is that something that you're open to doing? Okay? Calmly, easily articulate yourself, ask, and then be quiet. Let them respond. Okay? And just take it from there. Of course, this would take practice doing the one-on-one, and this is why we encourage you to bring your upline with you, right? Ask them for help or have a third-party validation so you can watch a couple times how it's done. Everyone does it different in forms of how they talk, but everyone's using the same document and going through the same procedure, and hopefully they're asking a lot of questions because that's really what's going to get you down to whether or not this is a fit for that person. Okay? One thing I do want to remind you of is, there we go. One thing I want to remind you is if people say they're not interested in the business, it's totally fine. Do not take it personally, but don't forget that doesn't mean they can't become a customer. Okay, that doesn't mean they're not interested in becoming a customer. So always remember that it is our job to help people figure out where they fit in. Maybe right now they're a client and they want to do the 30-day detox. Awesome, I would prefer that. Anyone who comes in and wants to do the detox, I would rather sign them up as a preferred client first and coach them through it, and then upgrade them later to a consultant when they're ready, they've seen the results, people are asking, they're referring people, and then getting them started. Because this way, not only are they believers in the product, but they could possibly have a team to bring with them now that they're just so excited and they have so much more belief in the products and in the system, right? So that is the basics of how to do a one-on-one. It's very simple. This document called Is Arbonne For You is actually up in our Dropbox page. So make sure you guys go in there. It's under presentations and documents, and you can pull it from there. Okay, this is the most updated one we have. Okay, great. I know we went a little bit over, but I'd love to answer any questions if anyone has any. You just have to unmute yourself. Or if any of the leaders want to chime in.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So, you remember me? But, I just recently started to just kind of actually, jump on the business part. So on the part that you said where, I'm not even like a district manager yet. I'm just a consultant still. What else can I tell them, aside from my story and why I decided to become, make a business out of it? Because I guess you could say, well, you don't have proof. You're just pretty much telling other people's stories and their success. But what about you? Like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm not there yet. Maybe like, what can I?
Good question. So you would follow the same steps, right? You would talk about what you currently do. Like, I'm going to totally make it up. Okay. I think you said you worked in the medical field, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm going to kind of make up your story as a consultant. I would say, so right now I'm a nurse. I absolutely love what I do. It's a lot of fun. The only thing I really don't like is that I'm on call all the time and I work a lot of hours and it really keeps me away from my family. And I really, really want to be with my kids. And my friend who introduced me to Arbonne, well, she was a teacher for 15 years and she retired from teaching in about a year. Well, I don't know how long it took Carmen, but she retired from teaching. She gets to be home with her kids. And that's really what I want to do. And she introduced me to Arbonne. And, I love the products. I've been using them because I know you've been using them. I love the products. I've been using them. And I recently decided to do the business because I would love to be able to stay home and at least work part-time. And I know that with this business, I can do that. So you're just kind of giving them like a bird's eye view to what you hope for, but you can always bring in the story of someone you already know. That's like, we call that borrowing belief, right? Because you're borrowing belief from someone because you don't really have it 100%, but you see Carmen, you see me, you see the different leaders. So you borrow belief and you share a little bit about their story and how that's what you want. That's what you want for you and your family. Write it out. I would encourage you to just kind of write it out and then send it to Carmen to kind of look through it. But there's a lot of people in your situation, and that's how we guide them to do it, is just kind of share like, what is it that you want out of Arbonne? Like what, and don't be afraid to dream big. You can even say like, my goal is to get to MVP so I could retire my husband. We could buy another home or, whatever it is, like think big, because at the end of the day, people join people. They don't join companies, right? So if they see that you're like really passionate about what you're doing, that you're excited and you're truly like convicted about what you're doing, people will be attracted to that. And they'll be like, well, Jennifer really knows what she wants and I want to be part of her team, right? It's when we're kind of wishy-washy and we're like, I don't know, it might work, maybe, we'll see. People won't join because they don't want a leader or someone that is kind of back and forth or not sure, right? So borrow the belief, even if you're not 100% there, because the more you talk that way, the quicker you'll become that person that really believes in the business and what you're going for. Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So write it out and send it to Carmen or send it to me and we'll help you.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Thanks, Jen. Thank you for being on.
I was like rushing to get back home. I was like, oh, I need to get on. I need to get on.
Yeah, you can get on the phone too, so don't worry. Anyone else have a question?
Mommy, Nikki, that's your hair.
Yes, that's not my hair. Anybody else? No? No? Okay, awesome, guys.
Angie. Hey.
Angie. Hey, Angie.
So I think that when you feel kind of stuck that way and you think you don't have a story, that's why it's so important to have that third-party validation. That's why you want your upline on call or want her present or want her on the Zoom, so you have that third-party validation. So that's what I wanted to share. And also I wanted to share that the first time I did this, I got a big 0. Esme knows. Actually, it was like not even on the scale. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So that kind of, don't be discouraged. Actually see that as a challenge. Like, oh, okay, that's great. You know, I'm going to move on next. And that 0 has been following me ever since. So.
I think it was a -0.
It's a -0.
I remember that. It's okay. We laugh it off. Any other questions? Or,
I can.
okay, we got to go quickly, guys, before it turns off. Go ahead. Go ahead. Carmen, go.
Oh, sorry. I thought somebody else was talking. I just also want to add, like, you know, just do you, like, if you don't have a story yet, like, you know, we borrow other people's and we also like project what we want. So just talk to people about the fact that your life is not going to change until you do something different. You can say, you know, I'm working as a nurse, I'm working so long, and I was going to have 35, 40 more years of this. So I joined Arbonne because something needs to change. It's that also what people like are attracted to, the fact that you have kind of like the guts to follow that, you know, that change and the solution that you're presenting to them for what they may be having the same thoughts that you are.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I have to cut the call because it's going to turn off and I don't want it to look weird. So thank you guys so much. If you still want to talk, you can call us. We're here to help you. So thank you so much for being on the call and we'll talk next time. Bye. Say bye.
Bye, Luna.